I've been waiting way too long. Yeah, I've been down here trying to get it. Yeah, I've been waiting way too long.
In this video, I will show you how to solve two-step equations. Let's look at the first example. 3x minus 2 equals 7. We're still going to identify the equal sign and identify our variable. Again, we're only identifying the variable, not the coefficient that is with the variable. Now, in order to get x by itself, I need to move the constant first. That constant is minus 2. I want that to be a 0 because I want to get x by itself. The inverse of subtraction is addition. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. My 3x comes down because it was not affected. 7 plus 2 is 9. Now notice that 7 and 2, those are both constants. They are like terms. So that's why we're able to combine them to be 9. Now, I still need to identify my variable and make sure I know what I'm trying to isolate. Now the inverse operation I need to do is division. I'm going to divide by the coefficient because 3 divided by 3 is 1. So that leaves me with 1x equals 3. Remember, I can now go plug this back in for the x in the original equation. So 3 parentheses 3 minus 2, does that equal 7? 3 times 3 is 9, minus 2 is 7, so that is the correct answer. Example B, I'm going to identify my equal sign, identify my variable I'm trying to isolate. I'm going to do the same thing in that I'm going to move the constant over first. The constant is the plus 8. The inverse of addition is subtraction, so I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. 8 minus 8 is 0, so I am left with 3/4 y equals negative 11. This is negative 3 minus 8 is negative 11, or you can think of it as negative 3 plus negative 8. Still, it's negative 11. Now I have 3/4 y equals negative 11. I need to get y by itself, which means I need to divide by 3/4, which means I need to multiply by 4/3. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 4 is 12. Those cancel, and that leaves me with 1y equals negative 11 times 4/3 is negative 44 over 3. Remember, negative 11 is negative 11 over 1. 3 does not go evenly into 44, so I can't simplify that, so I'm going to leave my answer just like that. Remember to leave your answers in improper fractions, but they must be simplified. Example C, 4 equals negative 7 plus m over 2. Here's my equal sign, here's my variable. I need to get rid of this constant first, which is negative 7. In order to make that 0, I need to add 7. What I do on one side, I must do on the other. Negative 7 plus 7 is 0. My m over 2 comes down, equals 4 plus 7 is 11. Still trying to get m by itself. The m is being divided by 2, so the inverse of division is multiplication. 2 over 2 is 1. So when I have a 2, multiplying by 2 times something over 2, that's a 1. So m equals 22. Again, I can plug this into my original equation and see if it's true. 4 does equal 4, so it is true. M is 22. That is my correct answer. Last example here, negative 12 equals 3 plus 4x. Identify my equal sign, identify my variable. Get rid of the constant, that's a positive 3, so I'm going to subtract 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. My 4x comes down. This is negative 12 minus 3, which is negative 15. I still need to get x by itself, which means I need to get rid of the 4. So I'm going to do the inverse of multiplication, which is division on both sides. 4 divided by 4 is 1x. Negative 15 over 4 That cannot be simplified. 4 does not go into 15, and neither can, well, 4 can be divided by 2, but 15 can't. So that would be my final answer. I would leave it as an improper fraction. That is the simplified answer.
I've been waiting way too long. Yeah.